Dr. Nandipha Magudumana's urgent application to have her arrest in Tanzania declared unlawful will be heard in the Bloemfontein High Court tomorrow. On Monday, Home Affairs Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi told the media that the department was shocked that it had not been cited in the urgent court application. Let's go live now to the Free State in Mangaung to be exact. Bring in our reporter Linda Mnisi. Linda, we'll talk about the case and the application as relates to the Home Affairs Department in a moment, but we do have some news just in from the NPA on the application.
Absolutely, Tembegile. The NPA issuing out a statement this evening saying that, in fact, it plans to oppose this urgent application lodged by Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. However, they will unpack the grounds upon which they base their opposition during the trial. So really not getting into why it is exactly that they'll be opposing, this matter, giving, of course, also the brief background around, this application and what it entails. We're inside the Bloemfontein High Court, where exactly this matter will be heard at exactly 10 o'clock. And I can tell you, Tembegile, Dr. Nandipha Magudumana will not be present in court tomorrow because you'll remember these are live proceedings in this particular matter. But you'll also remember that the Director of Public Prosecutions in the Free State is listed as respondent number 1. In that, you'll remember that they are prosecuting Dr. Nandipha Magudumana for aiding and abetting Thabo Bester's escape. These are proceedings that are being heard currently from the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, and therefore Dr. Nandipha Magudumana seeing it fit that, she needs to cite that particular respondent, because you'll also remember that what she wants from this particular court is to also declare all the proceedings that are before the magistrate in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court to be nullified, essentially discharging her from that particular case that is currently being heard, or has been heard since, of course, her first appearance in the Bloemfontein High Court. So it's quite clear at this point that, the NPA will be opposing this matter. Unclear what the others will do in regards to whether or not they will concede to what Dr. Nandipha Magudumana is saying, or will oppose. Chances of them, conceding that she is right are very slim, I can tell you, because there's already been, talks, not only, from the NPA, but also the Minister of Home Affairs, who wants to join in on this application when he's not even cited. He wants to join in and says that they were shocked that they were not cited. Tembegile?
So at this stage, Linda, do we expect there to be an application, perhaps, from the Home Affairs Department seeking to officially be part of these proceedings, or otherwise?
What we know, Tembegile, is that what the department has been doing, it has been going back and forth with Machini Mutloung Inc., who are representing Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. You'll remember on Monday he spoke about a letter that he had received. In fact, it was a letter of demand that the department had received requesting for documentation that relates to Dr. Nandipha Magudumana's arrest and subsequent deportation. What they replied and said in their responding paper by, of course, the Director General, was that, this letter that they directed to the Home Affairs Department was flawed in terms of the law and what it pertains to. Also telling them that what they needed to do is really follow the procedures of the department, but also of the PI Act, which is the Protection of Personal Information, or Access to Information Act, rather, that they need to follow. So the question now becomes, besides this back and forth, the court will not expect any form of documentation from the Home Affairs Department. What options do they have in terms of joining this application? Because saying that they want to join this application is merely not enough. What do they need to do? Should they be applying for a joinder application? Let's take a listen to what one of the legal analysts has to say.
If you're an interested party, then you say, I want to be part and parcel of the decision which is going to be taken. But the manner in which the court is going to look at, they're going to say, when I issue out an order as prayed, is it going to impact towards the Department of Home Affairs, for example? Now, there's no specific requirement or specific performance which is required from them. So why should they be part and parcel of that particular application? if they so wish that there's some added information which is going to help the NPA at the end of the day. In fact, it is the NPA that should say, from the side of Home Affairs, please provide a detailed affidavit detailing how these particular matters have played out. On that basis, then the minister can be part of it. But for now, there's no specific performance which is required for him. Maybe the matter is not ripe at this stage in order for him to be accepted, unless he's going to answer as to how that particular deportation took place, or even extradition took place, or the manner in which they were transported from Tanzania to South Africa was orchestrated. Then I do not think he's part and parcel of it. Because if we say he's part and parcel of it, we may even go to and extend it to the Minister of International Relations and say to him, you ought to have been part and parcel of this matter. You are dealing with another country. It's one of those diplomatic issues. There are treaties that have been signed. So on those bases, we want to be part and parcel of this matter. So for him, maybe at this stage is not really important, but even if he makes an application for joining, there's no specific performance that is directed to him. He would rather be out of it and let those who are litigants in this matter deal with it.
So that's Mpumelelo Zigalala, legal analyst there, Tembegile, talking to us about, the possibilities and how the Department of Home Affairs should join this matter if it really wants to be joining this matter, as it believes that it needed to be cited. But you'll also remember that they're saying, the department that is, they're saying that all processes were followed and that her deportation to South Africa was legal. They cited, if you remember, a notice to prohibited immigrant, which essentially gave Dr. Nandipha Magudumana 3 days to leave Tanzania. That was handed over, or was signed on the 12th of April, about a number of days after, we were told of that arrest, which is basically one of the things that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana has cited. The Department of Home Affairs saying, well, we believe that all processes were followed, and therefore, if she wants to argue that the deportation and what needed to happen prior to her being deported to South Africa, then we need to be cited in order, of course, to provide clarity. Most importantly, the issue around the abduction, because you'll remember the minister also saying that she was handed over to an immigration official from Tanzania, because Tanzanian authorities did not want to hand her over to the police or the South African National Defence Force. All they could do is to do a handover to an immigration official, because had she been handed over to the police or the SANDF, that would be regarded as rendition. Therefore, they had to fly down to Tanzania, an immigration official who would have to take over. So the questions then become, after she was then handed that notice to prohibited immigrant, what then happened? Because she alleges that she was abducted, she was blindfolded and was taken by members of the South African police to the airport and subsequently flown to South Africa.